have won that election if we didn't have a organized house. Imagine Anubi working with Atiku. Imagine a Kwankwaso working with Atiku. Imagine Wike working with Atiku. What are we saying? We don't deceive ourselves. We failed before the election. The election, we failed. You understand? Till today, if a PDP is still dissolving state ESCOs, still fighting some people after the loss of that election, where are we going? Except we stop all these shenanigans. Me, I don't want to beg for space. So. The PDP needs total reconciliation. Total reconciliation. Except that we will remain a party in party politics and not in government. But I don't want to speak for the court.
So, Governor Fayose.
Welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything and all things politics, especially about the 2023 presidential election in Nigeria. I'm doing this video because of the fallacy of generalization that I'm seeing. Because a lot of people are having this view that Ayo Fayose, former governor of Ekiti State, is having, that there's a fallacy of generalization that if PDP had been united, that they would have won the election. They would have won the presidential election. To me, it's a fallacy of generalization, and it is the kind of views that a lot of people are having, including the APC. It's good for APC to have that kind of belief. That was, remember that when Dele Aleke was still just after the election, when the international community was not recognizing Tinubu, so to say, when Dele Aleke and all the rest, they were traveling, including Lai Mohammed, to go and talk to European journalists in London, in New York, and elsewhere, that Peter Obi did not win, that it was Aswad Bola Tinubu who won. One of the arguments they presented, or continue to present to people, is that they won because PDP was divided, that it was that division that made it easier for them to win. That this same fallacy was trumpeted by former President Muhammad Buhari, who in several statements blamed the PDP's division for their victory. Okay, saying that PDP was not united. Okay, that the party was not united. That is not the reason why the PDP lost, or the reason why APC won. No. The reason why APC won is because of alleged rigging. That is basically the reason why APC won. And I'll give you an instance. In 2019 presidential election, Peter Obi was the vice presidential candidate to Atiku Abubakar. Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso was in PDP. Nyesom Wike was a supporter of Atiku. There was no G5 governors in 2019. The PDP was one big family. There was no quarrel, no division. If being united is the criteria for victory, why didn't PDP win in 2019? Because in 2019, Peter Obi, Atiku Abubakar, Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, Nyesom Wike, everybody was in the same boat. What stopped them from winning? I can tell you for free that the reason why PDP lost in 2019 was the same reason they lost in 2023. But I will give other factors after explaining this. The reason was because those who rigged the 2019 election against PDP, when Peter Obi was the vice presidential candidate to Atiku Abubakar, if these same people had remained united in 2023, these same people will have still rigged it, and we'll be discussing it as we are discussing it now. But the only thing that makes this rigging different was that this is a highly technologically driven election in which there were so many digital footprints that you can use to catch the thief, which is why there's growing confidence that the election could be upturned, because the digital footprints are so loud, so big, that they are not hidden. It was all those digital footprints that made it possible for people to be able to recalculate the result of Rivers State and discover that Peter Obi won, even though that state was allocated to Aswaj. It was these same digital footprints of INEC that people recalculated and discovered that Peter Obi won Benue State. So that's the difference now. But the people that manipulated the result of 2019 and gave victory to Muhammadu Buhari were the same people that allegedly manipulated the 2023 one. So it therefore means that it's a total lie that if Peter Obi and Atiku Abubakar had been in the same boat with Nyesom Wike and with with all other people, that Ayo Fayose was mentioning that they would have won the election. It is not true. This election, the desperation of the APC to continue to remain in power would have made them to still rig it the way they rigged the 2019 election. So that is not true. So therefore, I see it as a fallacy of generalization that if they had been united, they would have won. It's not true. They were united in 2019, they couldn't win. They were now divided in 2023 and they couldn't win. Now, what are the real reason that Labour PDP could not win? PDP could not win because Labour Party had taken over his votes. So there was nothing that could have made PDP to win. Labour Party had taken its base from it. It took away the base of PDP and expanded and crushed into all their territories. But for the rigging, there are many people who strongly believe that Peter Obi would have won the election before 4 p.m. on February 25. Because let's look at it. A whole lot of things was against Atiku Abubakar. Muhammadu Buhari from the north has just done 8 years. Common sense showed that the presidency ought not to go to north again. But Atiku Abubakar didn't understand it. So one of the main reasons why PDP lost was Atiku's insistence in contesting that election. Atiku has no business being in the ballot in that election because it was the turn of the South to produce a president after 8 years of Muhammadu Buhari. Common sense ought to have told PDP that what they should do is to zone that position to the South and in particular to the Southeast. But what the PDP couldn't do, other Nigerians did. Afenifere did, Middle Belt Forum did, Pandev did. They zoned the presidency to the Southeast. That was why you see many of them endorse Peter Obi for justice, fairness, and equity, that the presidency should go to the Southeast. So that was the greatest undoing of Atiku Abubakar. And Atiku Abubakar also, there was this arrogance of power that he exhibited. If you see, one of the things Atiku said was that they should not rely on zoning. That they should not rely on zoning. That rather they should throw the presidency open. And that let the person who has the capacity to be able to grab power from the APC, the ruling government, because they say that only somebody who has the power, the kind of sagacity to grab power from APC should be put there as the ticket holder until saying that after the election, after the victory had been secured, then they cannot begin to talk about zoning. Okay? So, and Atiku presented himself that he can be able to be the one to challenge a sitting government and snatch away power from it. When those things were happening, P2B quietly left the PDP, a party that had already bought their form, and resigned from the party and moved to Labour Party. And like the rest of Nigeria, they say, okay, let us see how Atiku Abubakar is going to win this election. Let us see how he's going to win it. And it was difficult for him, despite everything they did. Because common sense showed that he had no business winning the race. So Atiku's participation in that election, Atiku's grabbing of the PDP governorship presidential ticket was one of the reasons why PDP lost out. If PDP had given that ticket to Peter Obi would have swept to victory. Of course, despite that, he swept to victory many believe that he swept to victory in this election, but for the manipulation, alleged manipulation, which is already issues they are trying to correct or to reclaim his mandate. Because the difference between PDP and the APC was just the difference between Eba and Gary. Nigerians know that. So if Nigerians want a change, they don't think that the change will come from APC and PDP. That was why most Nigerians gravitated towards Peter Obi. Because Nigerians were looking for a new face, somebody who is different from the old guard, especially somebody with an impeccable character like Peter Obi, somebody who has no trace of stealing public money, somebody whose transparency is impeccable, somebody who is prudent, somebody who is not collecting pension since he left government house, somebody who, when he said that he will fight corruption, Nigerians believe him because they know that he symbolizes integrity, cleanness, transparency. That was why throughout the campaign, you hardly see Atiku Abubakar and Tinubu saying they will fight corruption. You hardly see them talk about corruption. Peter Obi was the only one that had the confidence of his own conviction to talk about fighting corruption, to talk about bringing change, to talk about doing things in a different way. You can see now that Tinubu has been announced as the winner of the election. All the former governors of his era, many of them that have been, they surrendered millions of properties and houses and everything. They are now congregating at the presidential villa to congratulate their colleagues. People, you know, their court cases and everything else. It's like the return of the old guard. And this is a country like Nigeria that corruption is the reason why we are underdeveloped. But during the election, corruption was not made a major issue. Only Peter Obi made it a major issue. So there's no way PDP could have won that election in terms of victory, even if they were united. No. There's no way they could have won it. So that's not the reason why they lost. The reason why they lost was because the election was rigged. The reason why they lost was because they made the mistake of not giving Peter Obi the ticket. And they have to live with it. And now, Peter Obi performed better than Atiku Abubakar in this election. Without structure, without anything, without breaking the bank. without spending millions of dollars to buy delegates. Nigerians were using their personal money to buy data to campaign for Peter Obi. How many people did it for Tinubu, and how many people and Atiku Abubakar? Those who are campaigning for them were campaigning for him, them collecting money from them. But Peter Obi, people were doing voluntary contribution. People were buying data of their own, going to communities, hard to reach areas to talk about Peter Obi, to tell people about Peter Obi. Because they believe in his integrity. They believe in his honesty. They believe in his capacity. So it's as simple as that. So Ayo Fayose should just not bother himself by tabling that fallacy that if they were united, they would have won. They would not have won. What happened would have happened. Okay? The only good thing now is that with the kind of forensic analysis of the result and everything, there is hope in Peter Obi reclaiming his mandates. But at the end of the day, everything is in the hands of the courts. The judiciary, they know better than all of us. So the fact remains, there's no way PDP would have won that election. Fayose is wrong. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button. Hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you will be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, Google will rank it high. I recommend it for more people. God bless you and yours.